Let's unpack this further now and speak to political analyst Sandile Swana. Thank you so much, Mr. Swana, for your time. Let's start with your reaction to this development.
Thank you, Bongwe, and your viewers. My view is that this latest development by the former President Jacob Zuma is an indication that the divisions within the ANC are very deep. I listened to the list that was read. I call it list of complaints, read by Sandile Zuma. Really, you could go to the ANC reports maybe from 23 years ago with the 2000 MGC and prepare a list of these types of complaints. Anybody can do, because the failures have been so many in the ANC. But right now, the top leaders and the veterans of the ANC are in fact divided. And depending on the personality of the individual, that dissatisfaction might be quite aggressive against the ANC.
And I mean, the ANC is saying that it's not going to be releasing a statement nor taking interviews on this particular matter. You listen to what COSATU has to say, for example, through Matthew Parks, and they say that, this is a former president who's bored and should be utilizing his time wisely, and saying that the ANC should not even bother or take this seriously, but rather focus on the elections. They are not responding. They've simply noted it. Is that the right move, in your view?
Yes, of course, it is the right move. Zuma is not Mavuso Msimang. Mavuso Msimang could be given one or two hot claps and fall back into line. And Zuma is not that type of person. You must remember that Zuma has got massive political capital in South Africa. Before the 2009 election, the ANC never won KZN, even when the ANC had almost 70% of the South African vote and was growing. It was never able to win KZN. But when Zuma became president of the ANC, the votes of the ANC in KZN alone increased by 1.5 million. And when they fired Zuma, they lost another 500,000 votes, 500,000 votes. Zuma can shake KZN, can even decide, I want to believe, whether the ANC can keep KZN or not.
So what happens now, in your view, in terms of, this impact? Can it be felt beyond KwaZulu-Natal, possibly?
Well, yes, we all know, for instance, Castle Matale in the northern province in Limpopo. Zuma has got strong supporters in the Eastern Cape. The support base of Zuma is varied. There are people who politically and culturally believe in Zuma. And it's just like any other ANC faction, there's a number of opportunists who think that their lives were very good when Zuma was president, and now this Ramaphosa thing has disturbed them. That is another source of support. But numerically and based on recorded statistics, Zuma will impact. If they allow this thing to get out of hand, it will impact on the electoral results of the African National Congress.
And, when one goes and revisits, yesterday I was looking at their constitution, the ANC's constitution, that is, and you look at, Section 25, for example, 17, and you see the acts of misconduct there that are listed. And some say, if you look at that and you look at, 13, it's very clear that, according to them, he's asking to be expelled from the party. Is that how you read it as well? Because others are saying it was a chess move to say that I'm handing it over to you now to see what you're going to do. And if you expel me, then we see what happens.
Not only that, Zuma, in one of his areas of concern was the fact that the character of the ANC has changed. That the ANC used to be focused on recruiting and increasing members. Now it is focusing on expelling members. And he even listed people that have been expelled. What Zuma has done should ordinarily, in the normal course of affairs, result in an expulsion, not just a disciplinary action. But I have serious doubts whether Fikile Mbalula or any other leader in the ANC has got the capacity, the weight and substance to be able to terminate Zuma from the ANC at this juncture. It will be disastrous.
Another move that I'm keen to hear your thoughts on then, because we heard from the Secretary General of the party saying that they are going to be challenging this MK party legally when it comes to the name, and it takes us back to that moment when they were challenging COPE, for example, for its name and saying that it should not be using Congress of the People. But it was quite ironic that former President Jacob Zuma would find himself with yet another name that would be controversial. How does this one play out then?
Well, the IEC will have to make a decision about that, about the name. But even the name itself is highly provocative to the ANC for Zuma to form or to allow. He said it was done with his knowledge and registered already in September. So we wonder why the ANC has not taken action until now. But unfortunately for the ANC, that is a decision now that will have to be made by the IEC. If the IEC finds that this is a name suitable to register a political party, bearing in mind that MK was actually disbanded and dissolved when the ANC was unbanned as part of the process leading up to negotiations and so on. So the ANC will have it's not necessarily, I'm not a lawyer, but I'm sure it's not necessarily going to be an easy case to make. But from Zuma's point of view, this is serious political provocation of the ANC.
It's going to be an interesting one to see how it all unfolds. Let's see in the coming days what happens. I get a sense that there's going to be a lot of talk about too many things, especially in the lead up to the elections next year. That is political analyst Sandile Swana. Thank you so much for your time.